Well, thank you, John. Also for that interesting stories and all the experience that you communicated in this very short time. all that things that has been done. Please put on your cameras, everyone. I would like to see you all. Gallery mode. And hi.
Hello. Yeah. How are you going?
Fine. Good. Let's start with a check-in. So first of all, you just lean back in your chair if you're standing up. Just relax, shoulder width with the feet, and then just lean back a little bit. Close your eyes. Fill up your lungs. Long deep breaths. Just think about the question. So what's top of mind right now for me? So what's your top of mind? And since we are so many people right now, so you basically get one word to say what's top of mind. And please come back, and then let's start with Holly. Taylor.
End of financial year. So my one word is EOFY.
Thank you. Justin Harding.
Yep, a list of all the jobs that I have to do.
Thank you. Sharon Coleman.
Mentoring.
Sorry?
Mentoring.
Mentoring, yes. Tony Jackson.
Coaching.
Coaching. What about you, Michael? Joffe?
Holidays, school holidays, and balancing it all.
And Nick W. Are you muted now, Nick?
Thank you. So as I was saying, my mind was pretty clear, so I'm just curious.
Thank you. Sarah Goodwin.
Teaching, still finishing the end of semester stuff and securing all the tutors for next semester. So organizing that.
Thank you. And Ahmed, one word, what's top of mind right now?
Breakthroughs.
Nancy Spencer.
Reflecting. I was just reflecting on John's failures and what he'd learnt from those.
Thank you. And James Harvey.
Screaming kids in lockdown, so peace.
Thank you. Tony.
I would say chapters of career and life.
Chapters, thank you. Nancy.
Future.
Victoria Lamb.
Delegation. Just had
Sorry?
delegation. I have just had 7 new staff start, and I'm delegating.
Okay. Lawrence Malloy.
I actually became distracted by work, so I was thinking geothermal.
So you're distracted, yeah. Jordan.
Strategy. I've got a board meeting on Friday, so strategy.
Yeah. And Peter.
Time for me.
Thank you. And Gavin.
Cash flow. Always cash flow.
Sorry, once again.
Cash flow. It's always cash flow.
Cash flow. Okay. Raya. No. And then I have Nick W again, but that's you, right, Nick, again. And
yeah,
then
that's my computer.
Oh, that's you. Okay. David.
Dynamic operating envelopes.
Dynamic operating envelopes. Charles. No. And then let's see, Dorota.
Hi, Micke. Sorry, I actually dropped out for a second. What was the question?
What's top of mind? One word.
Dinner.
Dinner. And John, what's your top of mind? O'Brien.
So I'm excited about all the opportunities that sit in front of me.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so today, we're going to wrap it up a little bit. We're going to do what we call systematic reflection about the past 3 months. You've been out on a journey, you have set your direction, and we will go and see what has happened, and also to see what has not happened. So, and it's experience in everything, right? Like John said before, you had this failure workshop. I mean, so we have, so the most important thing is here, how do we learn from it? What's the insights? If I didn't do it, why didn't I do it? And so on. So we will look at that. So, and why we do it is that we want to maximize learning. So we know what we learn, right? And it's also good to have a clear stop and start. So now it stops here and we reflect and then we start again. This is also to save energy, but it's also to sort of what we call, we have a Swedish saying, but it's like you have to, you get the speed over the summit, right? So you don't stop at the finish goal, you know, continue. You should have energy passing the goal or the goal line, so to speak. And also to set new directions, right? So the next development journey. So that's the topic for the day. And then also coaching. So I won't be talking so much about mentoring, but more about coaching. And you will also try a coaching tool to sort of do it yourself, right? So you get the coaching tools for doing it. But first I want to share some pictures here. So let's see. And then, so let's go, and I will share like this. And I think you should see it now, right? The speed over the summit. Like that. And I will just enhance it. And I think you should see it right now, right?
Yes.
Yep, can see that.
Yes, good. So this is our journey. So this is how it looks like, a change journey, right? We start with a square and we're moving to some sort of circle. I mean, you're in the energy sector. I don't say that you're square, everybody here, no, but it's sort of you engineers. It's like an old structures. It's rigged for long investment periods. I mean, like 30 years horizons, stuff like that. So and now you're moving into the digitalization. You need to be more agile. You need to be, you know, more circular. So that's why we have this circular spot here. We call it extraordinary results, so ER, that's the direction. So what you did in March, that you set the direction, right? And then there's the journey, and it goes up and it goes down, and it's sort of, you know, it's never a straight line. It's never a straight line, right? So during this journey, and this is what we do, is that we work with this. So for example, I don't know, how can I'm not used to, let's see if I can do, okay. Spotlight, is this? So the only thing that we know when you're going out for something that is extraordinary, that you haven't done before, you need to experiment. So basically you need to set first you set the direction, then you need to go out and experiment, right? In that direction. So that's the only way to get forward in a new world. And then comes the thing that's really important is about reflection. This is the cloud here. You need to step out from you are and look down and see what is really happening here. Are we moving in the right direction, or am I moving in the wrong direction? Or am I standing still? What is happening? So this is the sort of the change journey as we see it. And we have all these symbols and stuff like that. I won't go into detail, but this is basically what we do at For Full Potential. We know how to move from a square to a circle, both on individual level, on team level, and on whole organizations. That's what we do. And we have about 30 years of experience of it. So let's see. Now I can't change the, how do I, Michael, help. How do I do this? I need to change the slide now.
Maybe stop sharing and share again.
Okay, now, thank you.
Great.
Now the circles are still there, but basically this is our methodology. So we set direction, extraordinary result, taking a stand, a personal stand. You need to sort of feel it. It's not just something that you write on a whiteboard. It should be something that you really dedicate yourself to, right? And then you need to create precisions, because you don't want to run around, doing, activities. You want to do the right things. So we create precision, and after that we start doing the experiment. You go out and experiment, and then you do the systematic reflection. But the basis for all of this, if you are not sustainable, or you're not team, you're not sustainable, or your whole organization is not sustainable, there will be no sort of experiments. There will be no new thinking, right? So if you don't sleep well, you don't eat well, you don't move around well, you probably won't be able to, and you will not be interested in experimenting, doing new things. So the baseline is always, take care of yourself. Sleep well, train, eat well, have good relationships. Like John also said, networking. I mean, you need to go out and build relationships. That is also part of the sustainability in your life, right? So this is basically just how we work. And I just told you about that. So what we will do now, we will look at your development journey, and it's really small journey because it's only 3 months, right? And some of you have gotten these bowls in the mail, right? So if you put on your cameras and just, how many of you have gotten this once? So there is some, yeah, good. No, so basically the ones that, I asked the questions, but anyway, so what you should do now is that we will keep your cameras on, keep the mute on, and then you go down and lie down on the floor. You who have the balls, put the balls in the put the balls in the basket again. Yeah. And before you do that, I will just show you that, some of you have this and some of you don't, but it's the same thing we will do. So basically for those who have these balls, that you will lay down on the floor later on, and then you will put them behind the heart. So basically the balls will be on the muscles in the back here, and it might hurt a little bit, but that's okay. They will not hurt you. And you may feel something, but basically what we do with these things, this is our most strategic tool that we are using. It's not an Excel sheet, it's not anything else. These are the most strategic tools that we have, and you will now practice them, some of you. So please put your cameras on and then go down on the floor and then lay down where you are and have the balls besides you. And if you don't have the balls, just lay down there. And straight arms, straight legs, and put your I can't the English word for palm, right? Yeah. So have the palms pointing up to the roof. So please go down on the floor. And I will bring also your pen and paper. So you have your pen and paper with you, and just go down and relax. So take a deep breath. This is unusual, and also think about this. If you feel, notice what you feel and what you are really feeling, thinking right now in the mind and the body, because this is also something different that you don't do, right? So change is about doing something that is radically different from what you usually do. And see what sort of insight you will get from this. So basically lay down, take a deep full breath, begin with the stomach, fill up the breast all the way up to the collarbones, I think it's called in English. Just relax, close your eyes, soften behind your eyes. Don't strain your muscles in the face. Just try to relax in the face. Relaxing every muscle in your body. have your palms pointing up to the roof. And you guys who have the balls, you can now put them behind your heart in the back, so between the shoulder blades, so that one of the balls just comes on the muscles there, and then lay back on, and have the, and then just relax. See if you can relax where these balls are right now. The reactors, we call them the reactor. And let them just melt in. And then, so what has really happened since March, 31st of March? So reflect on when you lie there, what have I succeeded with during this 3 months period in relations to my direction that I set? So what have I succeeded with? Take a deep breath. See if you can, feel your toes, legs, stomach. Just follow the breath. So what have I succeeded with? And just think about also, what was my biggest challenge during this 3 months period? What was my biggest challenge? Take a deep breath. Relax. See if you can follow the breath, walking, follow the breath going in through the mouth, down to the lungs, and then back out again. Just curiously investigate what really happens when you are laying there and breathing. What sort of thoughts go through your mind? What do you observe in your body? As an engineer or I'm an old researcher, observation is my greatest tool. So I can observe the surroundings, but I can also observe my mind. I can also observe what happens in my body. And so this is what you do now. Look at this as a training. So what have I succeeded with during this 3 months period? And what was my biggest challenge? Now you can roll over and you can write. If you have your pen and paper, take 2 minutes and write. What have I succeeded with and what was my biggest challenge during this three months period? So bring your, you can be on the floor still if you want to. And when you're done, you can go back down again. And the guys with the balls, you can put the balls down a little bit more lower down on the back. I will show you here on the screen so you can watch. And then you go and so straight legs, lay down on the floor, palms pointing up to the roof. Why you have the palms pointing up to the roof is that you open up the chest a little bit more. So you open up more. And when you breathe now, have your mouth open. So this is different techniques. Some, those of you who have made meditation or yoga, usually they breathe through the nose. But here we want to breathe through the mouth. It helps the body to relax more. Take a deep breath. and you guys with the reactor balls, you can see if you can let this point also melt in. So let the balls melt into the body, into the muscles with every exhale. So on this 3 months journey, what was the coolest thing that happened? What was the coolest thing? Take a deep breath. Relax in the face, relax in the shoulders, chest, stomach, legs, feet. Just feel the ground, feel how the body meets the floor. So what was the coolest thing during this 3 months period? And what have you learned? What's the takeaway? What have I learned about myself, about others, about my team that I work in or the organization that I work in? What have I learned about myself, about my surroundings, my team and organization? Take a deep breath. If nothing comes to mind, it's nothing. So it's no, doesn't need to be anything. Take a deep breath, relax. Relax behind your eyes. That may sound a little bit strange, but try to relax behind your eyes. Usually when we're thinking a lot, we're up in the head, start to strain or to strain the muscles behind the eyes, and then you get tired. So when you are in meetings, this could be a good way of thinking that you are in meetings to see that, okay, relax behind the eyes and take a deep breath. You can do that. It calls micro pause. We call it micro pausing. And you can do that in a meeting. It takes like 5 seconds. And this way you can save a lot of energy if you do it regularly over the day. Back to the reflection. So what was the coolest thing and what have I learned? So go back up and roll over and then write on your piece of paper. Take 1 minute to write. What was the coolest thing and what have I learned? And when you're done, you can just go back on the floor. Guys, with the balls, you can put a little bit more down on the back. And then it depends on how your posture is. You might need to lift up your knees, but you can see that when you come down. So have the balls a little further down. Okay, so go back on the floor. Relax. Full deep breaths. Palms pointing up to the roof. Open your mouth, relax behind the eyes. Fill up your lungs. Is there something on this 3 months journey that you want to leave behind? What do I want to leave behind? This is something I will drop. It could be a behavior, or it could be a thought, it could be something, a structure, or a process in the organization that needs to be dropped. What do I leave behind? Take a deep breath, relax, open your mouth. Relax also your tongue. Find your rhythm on the breathing and follow the breath in and out. You with that have the balls, you can see if it's, you don't feel anything, you can lift up the knees and you can put your hand on the knees to sort of have more pressure, and you can play around a little bit with the pressure, but always on the exhale try to relax and see if you can relax the muscles where the balls are. So what do I leave behind? And also looking ahead, looking forward, what are my key things to succeed? What is really important for me to succeed? What is that? What are my keys to succeed? Take a deep breath. Looking back on this 3 months journey, what is my keys to succeed? When am I winning the game? And what needs to be in place then? Take a deep breath. Relax. Open your mouth. Breathing. And you have the balls, you can take away the balls and just put them on side, and straight legs, straight arms, palms facing the ceiling. So what do I leave behind? This is something that I will drop. It can be a behavior or a thought. It can be something structural that's in the organization or in your team, the process that doesn't fulfill or haven't been, valuable to you or to your team or to the organization. And what are the keys for you to succeed? So roll over and then write. What do I leave behind? What are my keys to succeed? And then take 2 minutes also and go get something to drink or a glass of water or something like that. And then we meet in about 2 minutes from now in front of the camera.
Micke, Michael here.
Yeah. Hello, Michael.
Hi, just so you know, in the chat, I've now shared some files, so you can refer people to those.
Yes, I mean, good, thank you.
I had one person say that they couldn't open the file. So what I'll also do is put the text in there as well, just in case people
Yeah.
can't open the file.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's good. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Okay, so if you back up in the seats, you have some, maybe you drank some water or something. Please put on your cameras again so I can see you. Nice. Good to see you all again. So basically what you have sort of questions and maybe you have answers to them or you maybe not have answers to them. And it's both is fine. It's all about, you know, observations, right? And so these are the sort of questions that we just start off with. And then we also look at the sort of more qualitatively what have been the movements. So basically, has there been any movements or not, right? And there's no judgment in this. This is just observation. So it's no, you know, it's not like, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that, but it's more like, okay, this is it. This is the movement or this is not the movement. So we will check that out and you will have, you will get these pictures later on. So has there been a movement? Let's see. So have you gone from square to circle? Let's see. So it can be that you set out some sort of a goal or a direction, extraordinary result. And it can be that maybe you have finished it, but it can also be that something is left, right? It's not always clear that we have reached what we wanted to reach, right? So let's see if the unused potential left or if it have we scored the goal, so to speak. So what is the movement? So if you have a pen and paper, you can just write this. This is quite easy. So basically, we're looking at three perspectives here now. And so personally, has there been some sort of movement personally? So one is like, it's completely the same as I was like 3 months ago, right? And 10 is like, I'm completely new person. Nobody recognizes me anymore, right? So put a number between 1 and 10 for this 3 month period. So you know, has there been some sort of personal movement for you personally as a you know, like you are in the private life, but not only in your role, right? So this is the personal, right? You have this number, good. And then in your role, so we have this now is I talked about circles and squares, but now it's a square there, but it's symbolizing that you are in your professional role, right? So the same thing here. Has there been any movement over this 3 month period in your role as a lead or a specialist or that sort of role that you have? 1, no, nothing has happened. I'm leading or I'm doing the work as I've done it before. And 10, I'm a completely different leader now, and I know things just happens, you know. So what's the number here for you? So when you have a number, just, you know, do thumbs up so I can see. Thank you, Tony. Thanks, Nick, Victoria. And if we look at your team, if you are in a team or sort of has something happened there to this team? Has there been a move? If you observe your surroundings in your team, has there been a movement? 1, nothing. 10, this is a complete new team. And now when we set the direction, when we did that in September, sorry, in March, we set it on your professional role. So, you know, so don't expect that there's too much movement there. It would be maybe not realistic. But anyway, so see what has been movement in your team. Okay. So let's just go through everyone and then just say the numbers like 3, 5, 10. I don't know. So just to hear has there been any movement? So just get or maybe better yet, can you write in the chat? That's maybe easier actually, because you're so many people. So if you write the first number is the personal one, professional, and then the team. So you write them in that series. So please write it in the chat. Interesting. Yes, thank you. I'm looking at the chat also now. I would say that this is, for being a 3-month period, is really extraordinary in many senses. I'm interested to sort of just hear. I'm just going to pick one. So Nancy, would you sort of comment on your 838 movement?
Yes,
to
I
hear.
can do that. So big change on a personal level, because basically I've been kind of sick since November. And so basically I went through a lot of operation and so on. And finally, I'm feeling better. So big change at this stage. So,
Okay,
and it's very recent. So that's a personal level. So doing a lot of things differently as well. I've been starting yoga as well, competing on a cycling point of view. So I'm going to do a big competition soon, just to build up my confidence and so on. So that's personal level. In my role, it didn't really change a lot. Some reshuffling a little bit, because basically in our team, we have quite a lot of new people. And so basically, so it's my role has been staying a little bit the same, but how can I say that? It's more mentoring style, so it's I'm still doing, I feel it's still learning, because we're in a transition. So it feels still that I'm doing the same thing, but I'm kind of mentoring other people to do the thing I was doing, basically.
So that's also sort of that's the 8 on the team as well, then, because you're mentoring the. What has happened in the team? That is
so we
really a big
gained
change.
we gained 3 people, 2.5 people basically.
Yeah.
So we have more staff, and so basically
okay.
More staff, and so sort of different tasks that I was doing basically. Now I'm delegating, so it's a kind of a change, but still it's a process, because you need to learn how to delegate and how to make the person understand how everything works. And so it's a process that I was thinking would take not that much time, but still take quite a time.
Okay. Thank you, Nancy. Peter, you had 461. Please also, can you reflect on that a little bit? So what's behind the numbers?
Yeah, sure. So perhaps I'm being a little bit hard on myself, perhaps. But 4 for personal, largely because I finally got my small business up and running with a great website after sitting on the idea for 1.5 years. So put that together, which is fantastic. So hoping and expecting that to build, but we'll see. I also submitted a PhD proposal, which is looking quite favorably, which again, looks like there'll be a lot more work to be done in the future, which is excellent, but daunting nonetheless. Then 6 for my role at work. And I managed to win attender, one of the largest we've ever won as an organisation. So again, that leads to more work to be done, which is a bit daunting, but I'm excited by that nonetheless. And then I put just one for team. That's mostly because it's really just myself and our CEO and another person. So we don't really, it's not really much of a team. However, with the grant, I expect that number to increase because I'm able to get a few junior staff who will help me with some of the deliverables that we'll need to do.
I mean, good. Thank you. So it's happened. It's just, I mean, it sounds like you need to really look into your sustainability plan now for the future. So you will be sustainable through all these PhD things and all the, you know, tender. I mean, the business. So good work. And it's interesting to know. So the one is that we are not such a big team. Is that correctly understood?
Yeah,
you haven't changed anything how you work together.
Yeah, and I think just through working remotely a lot of the time, but a lot of our work doesn't cross paths. Although we don't necessarily work in silos, we just work autonomously.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Good. And we have time for one more. Looking at numbers a little bit. Oh, sorry, I need to scroll somehow. Michael, help. How do I scroll? Oh, no. Okay, now I found. Sorry. So Nick, 4, 3, 2. So 4 on the personal level, 3 in the role, and 2 in the team. Can you give us a 1 minute reflection on that?
Yeah. So for me personally, I think it's been a good 3 months. So I've been doing more meditation and kind of personal work on myself, but also on the way that ties into my role as well. But in terms of like confidence and dealing with some very challenging people in the team and situations. So I think for me, I'm quite happy with the way it's gone. What was the second one? My role, it has been improving, but I wouldn't say it's changed dramatically. It's become easier. I mean, but that's so probably less than my personal change. And for my team, again, it's improved, but only a small amount. That's why it's kind of lower again at number 2.
Okay, thank you. Good. So you have some numbers. For me, it's my experience is that 3 months is a very short period of time. So usually you don't see so much change in team level or in organizational level, but you can see a lot of change on personal level and also in the leader role. So basically, that's really good that we see that. So 3 months is a short period. I also want to say that when we work with teams, it's like six months minimum to about a year, to make. And for organizations, it's about 9 months and a little bit more, like up to 3 years to do a really change. But anyway, so let's move on. And the topic was am I sharing? Yes, I'm sharing. The topic was coaching and mentoring. So now I will give you also sort of tools that you can practice on yourself, because coaching is about being curious, right? And you're professionals, and maybe you sit on solutions, maybe you're leaders, and you know how the business works, you know how the solution is. But coaching is about asking the questions and being curious about it, right? And being a supporting hand. And maybe you see this on this picture. It's my colleague to the left, and I'm bicycling here, and she's having her hand on my back. But if you notice the hand, it's really, really touching the back, right? So she's not doing any force, so not pushing me forward, but she's not putting the hand there. So that's about coaching. Just putting the hand there, and you can feel the contact, right? And you're asking the right questions. And so just to give you a hand in what question to ask is, I will have you doing some sort of, you will train this basically. So we will send out you 2 and 2. Michael has prepared here, so you can practice this immediately, right? And I will tell you how it would work. So, and what you will do now, because somehow now we have ended sort of the first 3 months, like this start and stop, so we make a reflection. Now we're looking at the next direction, so to speak, the next journey. So your next extraordinary result, right? So you will be helping each other to coach that, what that is, right? And I will tell you, so this is the next journey. So basically you get 6 minutes each. So you two, and the first one, person A, is the coach, and person B is then first the, what do you call it, coachee, or right? I don't know the English word, but coachee, the one that's sort of the on the other end, yeah. So you start out with this question. So what do you want to achieve that you not have done yet, right? So that's the first question, and let the person think, and then answer. And then the second question is that if you succeed in that, what will it mean to you? Basically, is that, does it mean anything to you or not, right? Is this meaningful, or is this something that you say? And if you don't feel that this is meaningful, you can say that. I mean, is it really meaningful to you? What does this mean? Okay. And you can ask that question a couple of times. And then the second question, what's the real challenge here for you? So what's the challenge, right? And then they say something, and then you immediately say, what else? Because usually what comes up first is not always the core. The core comes a little bit later. So you try to ask this question a couple of times. What else? What do you mean? What is the real challenge here, really, right? And then 3, how does support look like to you? How do you want to have support from your colleagues, from your superior or your managers? Or if you want, you can offer yourself, right? I can help you and support you if you want. So basically, you ask the other person to how they want to be supported, because you don't know. As John showed you earlier, you have these different types. You have the John, help me out now if you're still here. You have these different types, the guardian, stuff like that, right? You don't know if this is a guardian, right? So you ask them, so what's support look like to you? What do you need? Well, I need structures, I need, timetables or whatever it is. Yeah, good. And then you move on. What would be your next step? And that's, so you have actions coming out from the 6 minutes. So this is a tight schedule, right? So please take a picture. These questions are in the chat as well, and it's also appended, but take a picture with your mobile, so a screenshot. So you have that. And so 6 minutes. So basically you have 1.5 minutes per question, right? So don't spend too much. And then when the 6 minutes have gone, you change. No chit chat, oh, this was good, blah, 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 blah. Nothing like that. Just change. So it's a clear start and stop, right? Save energy. Because when you're, chit chatting, energy is dissipating, like in all these generators. It's always dissipating energy. You want to keep the conversion rate high, right? And it's for everything. So keep the container, right? So let's change, and then 6 minutes again. So Michael, please have your time also, on the mobile like this. I will also in the chat write you when you change.
Yep. And so everyone, if you need to scroll up, but have a look in the chat, you should see this, but and take a photo if you need to as well. And I'm going to put everyone into rooms of 2 people each now.
Great, and good luck.
Micke, I wonder whether you want to join David, because it looks like he's ended up by himself.
Oh, okay.
Can I put you
Or,
there?
or do you? Yeah, I can be there. Or so they were uneven, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I can move in. I can join him. Yeah.
Micke's very good.
Yeah, he's quite creative, isn't he?
Yeah, because I wasn't here for the first session, but second and third, he's noticeably stronger.
I agree. But before we do, we devolve into this is being recorded. So I think for everyone who's here, let's just keep quiet and wait for the time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
Cool. So I guess we can always cut it afterwards in editing. No,
I think it's challenging, Kedem, so I prefer not to have
no
chit
worries.
chat on our recording.
Cool. Um,
That's it.
We're back.
Okay. That was good time management there, Michael. So I understand that it could be difficult to do the coaching. So I can also feel that sometimes I get into chit chat. Did you chit chat a little bit also?
Not too much.
Not too much.
Focused.
Okay.
Yeah. Focused.
Justin, you go through. Did you manage to go through all the questions? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Plus a few other questions just for context. Yeah.
I mean, good. So basically, these questions you can use in any sense. You can also talk to David a little bit. I mean, the challenge there is okay. How can I, start? I'm a good technician, but how can I start selling? I mean, and build relationship with big corporations, stuff like that. So basically, you can use the same thing when you are in a business meeting, right? So what do you want to achieve? It's the same thing there. So you can use these same questions, and you can coach your client or customer, but you don't need to say that. But basically, the same questions, because you want to help them, right? So how do I help them? How can I support you in that? You want to do this, and I have these things.
I'm definitely open for some client coaching opportunities. If any clients out there want some coaching, I'm there. I'm ready to provide that.
Exactly. So you can use this in any way you want, and it's always stay curious, stay with the questions, even though you know the solution, right? Because basically, if you know the real challenge, then you can be more precise. You have precision in how you can help. So if you know the real challenge behind the words, you get precision. Then the number 3 question, how does support look like to you, gets so relevant. It opens up a new field, right? Okay, so I think our time is running out. My time management is maybe not the best, and since I tried to at least, but I have a final question, and it's the picture is inspired my view on Australia somehow. You have the surfboard. I don't know if that's accurate to you guys, but this is what I see when I, pops up in my head when I think of Australia. But anyway, I just want to hear what you say. So what was most valuable to you this hour? What was most valuable to you this hour? So please write one word or a couple of words in the chat. And this is our checkout. What was most valuable to you this hour together? So it's a reflection, feeling understood, progress, interaction, reflection, asking questions. 6 minute interview, yeah. Thanks, Jon, for sharing experience. So thank you for this time. And those of you who didn't have these reactables that we call them, and you who have them, just let me know if you want to more. We have more material that you can use to see how they can be used in different ways. So if you don't have them, send me an email if you want to try it out. Just so I will send them to you. It takes apparently 2 weeks to get to Australia from Sweden. But anyway, And you guys who have them, just let me know if you want more inspiration or support. So by that, I thank you a lot for your input and all your energy and time here today. And I leave over the word to Kadim, I think, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Micke. I think it was a very interesting. I, for some reasons, couldn't do the laying down exercise, but I think it was very interesting to be an observer, to reflect on others. But again, thank you very much for the insightful workshop and the very engaging. As this is the last workshop, so as usual, I'd like everyone to wave instead of clapping. Wave the hands in thanks. And from this one, we are moving literally this